All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is your favorite dark sorcerer here. And today I want to talk to you a little bit because I've only got a few minutes before an interview with Son of Lilith. So I want to kind of talk to you about what I've been doing lately and really kind of just putting my thoughts about it. Lately, I've been delving into scrying mirrors, okay? Blood sorcery work, and most importantly, the acts through necromantic rituals and rites. I'm not going to get into the aspects of how I do it because that would violate the oath of the sorcerer. Keep silent about your own workings. But what I am going to tell you is that while doing these rites these last few days, I've begun seeing a lot of progress within a lot of visual. Shadowmancy, for an example, is a method where you can view other locations and times within your own image. Okay. For an example, if you think about a date, a time, or whatever, you can literally view what can transpire surrounding you. You can even use it to peer into the void. Sorceress Cagliostro the Necromancer wrote about this in the Blood Sorcery Bible, Volume 1. And I've decided, I'm going to delve into this work from her perspective. So that's what I've been doing. Smearing the blood, getting in there, calling on the spirits that I'm working with. And it's interesting to see just what has been transpiring this far. I've tried a couple of different techniques. I've utilized brimstone powder, for an example, and did a sigil of the spirit that I'm contacting, that I'm working with currently. I've begun using chants, the mantras. And like I said, the blood sorcery, smearing it on the mirror. So all you have to do is wipe it off when you're finished. It basically finishes and ends that particular rite. Okay. So I've been working with this now for roughly about a few days now. And the one thing I've noticed is that it's very, very powerful. That you have to start out with a meditation, to get yourself into that mind frame. The void meditation works. But you also want to make sure that if you're going to use a skill, you have the scrying mirror in there and you place the candle behind it. One, I will tell you this, never put a candle on the floor. The wax, when it melts, is a bitch to clean up. This is why I've always used my altar table. But I've been doing this on the floor so instead because I wanted to try something new. I wanted to get out of the same old, and just do it new. I wanted to start this practice in a whole new area of light, and that's what I've been doing. I'm trying new things that were suggested to me, things that were from other practitioners' perspectives. And I've also brought in some ideas that I've done myself. Okay. And so far, you see eyes. I've shared some photos with some friends of mine. And it's like there's a vortex of eyes kind of almost spinning in each photo that I sent them. Because as I'm sitting there, I took some snapshots with my cell phone while I was sitting inside the circle of empowerment. And and the candle and everything's outside in the triangle of evocation of brimstone powder with the sigil of the spirit I was calling. And when you're going into the void, you're going into the underworld. There's different planes, different existence there, especially if you're entering into, say, for example, the Lake of Souls. The Lake of Souls is basically the River of Souls, the River of Styx. It's been called a lot of things over the the ages. And this is something that the ferryman takes souls to the land of the dead in. And if you fall in or you get grabbed and you get pulled in, you become a total and utter lost soul, basically, if you get into that water. That's basically the gist of that river. And it's known as the River of Sorrows. So the ferryman in Greek mythology, takes you across. But in this case, it was more like a spiraling vortex, a whirlpool effect. And you're watching the eyes starting out center and then kind of going around, almost in a circular method. But you're also seeing your shadow self in this aspect, and it's very enlightening to see this, especially if you're doing shadow work. Okay, if you're doing shadow work and you're peering into, say, like I said earlier, times, places, locations, whatever. I've done this before, and it's really freaked some friends of mine out when I did it. But it was more of the fact that when this friend was down in southern PA, Pennsylvania, and I'm up here in Maine. I'm describing her house. I've never set foot in her house, and she's like, "How the hell do you know that?" I said, "See your hallway." She says, "Yeah," and I said, and I waved, and she's like, she started freaking out. She's, "Oh my fucking god! Don't ever do that to me again." I'm like, "Hey, you wanted to see what I can do. There you have it." You know. But unfortunately, since then, we've kind of had a falling out. She's gone her own way. She started dating some other, started dating a guy, and we ended up going our own way. But I haven't really done a lot of scrying work with a black mirror since, and it feels great to get back into doing it. It feels great to get back into the old ways and the methods of doing this stuff. But I think for right now, what I'm doing is I'm not just delving into it again. I'm literally experimenting on new tactics, new methods of utilizing the scrying mirror and seeing where it goes and where it's taken me. I'm calling on Bifruns and Murmur and Boom. These are goetic demons of necromancy, and they deal with different aspects of this. And it's interesting to see just how they're showing you what they're showing you. So I look forward to what they're going to show me tonight. I look forward to seeing what they're going to show me tomorrow and so forth, because what I'm doing now is basically a journey into scrying divination, utilizing blood sorcery, necromancy, and demonolatry. It's going to be a 3-week thing that I'm doing, and I've already got people interested in finding out what are my results going to be, and what is the outcome of what's going to happen, what I'm going for, and everything. So I'm going to be doing a video at the end after I've gained my composure and thought about this for a little bit and kind of reflected over the past 3 weeks once it's finished and completed, because I'm going to be doing, once I get done with the scrying there, I'm going to be moving on to candle meditation, okay? Utilizing candle flames, pyromancy, and then moving on to water divination and so forth, okay? Because there's a total of 36 different types of Nancy's out there that I really want to explore more in depth, more in depth. And I think this is a great time to begin doing this. And I really think it's going to benefit myself, my practices, and those who are interested in performing the same things, okay? And bettering sorcery, not just themselves. So I'll keep you informed on that, and we'll see what happens and transpires down the road. All right? And one of the things I've been working with is a scepter, okay? This is a scepter that was made by a brother of mine in Shetland, and Darren Neville, and he's a great brother and a great friend. I did not pay him for this, and I did not, ask him to make it. He did this all on his own, and one of the great things is that he showed me his, and I liked it. And he asked me, "Do I want one?" And I said, "Yeah, that would be awesome." So he made this for me, and he sent it to me, and it is a sheep skull with the vertebrae and everything, and it's got a metal. I'm thinking this is a by the feel, I would say this is a not just a mercury, but almost like a iron pole that's in the center of it, almost like what they use when they replace bones or in the medical field. And what's interesting to see is how they cut the bones and they separate the bones and they insert this metal rod into it. And then over the next 6 months to a year or two, the bone literally grows along that rod. So I'm thinking that's the same methodology that he used in this, and I love it. I've already consecrated it. I've already blessed it and sanctified it into the system of magic that I'm working with. And I'm using this, like I said, in divination right now. So this is something that's going to be awesome to see on what transpires throughout this thing. Not just utilizing skulls and bones of various sorts. And like I said, I'll keep you up to date on it. All right? Have a good day, and until next time.